the Congress syndicate. So I told you yesterday also that what was the syndicate? Syndicate was the informal name given to a group of Congress people. Syndicate was the informal name given to a group of Congress leaders who were in a control of the party organization. बेसिकली जानते हो सिंडिकेट कहते हैं किसको है? जस्ट जनरल इंग्लिश के अंदर एक ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल जो एक काम को कंट्रोल करता है, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कंट्रोल करता है, राइट? कंट्रोल एंड it was led by K. Kamraj, former Chief Minister Tamil Nadu, and the President of the Congress Party, included powerful state leaders like S.K. Patil of Mumbai and N. Sanjay Reddy, which I told you yesterday also. Now, what had then today I will tell you about the what type of challenges Indira Gandhi used to face. Indira Gandhi, she has to deal is on the screen also. This is in the page number 92, second paragraph. Indira Gandhi had to deal with the syndicate, a group of powerful and influential leaders from within the Congress. कांग्रेस के बीच में से ही इसके लिए चैलेंज हो गया था. किसके लिए? इंदिरा गांधी के लिए. And she had to deal with it. The syndicate had played a role in the installation of Indira Gandhi as the Prime Minister by ensuring her election as the leader of the parliamentary party. और syndicate ने ये देखा कि इसको किसी भी तरीके से मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी को पार्टी लीडर्स के अंदर in the party as the leader she should be installed gradually. However, Indira Gandhi attempted to assert her position within the government and the party. और धीरे धीरे इंदिरा गांधी ने क्या किया? अपना basically अपनी personality को she made a towering personality for her for the party, right? अपनी personality बहुत बड़ी बना ली थी. It is depend that the whole Congress was depending on her. Congress was depending on Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi was not depending on the Congress after some time. Indira Gandhi just faced two challenges. Those challenges, I told you that I will let you know about the challenges, what she faced. She needed to build her independence from the syndicate. सबसे पहला तो चैलेंज ये था कि इंदिरा गांधी को अपने आप को अलग करना था. किससे? सिंडिकेट से, पूरे ग्रुप से. She also needed to work towards regaining the ground that the Congress had lost in 1967 election. 1967 election में whatever she lost the ground, right? But after some time she had to regain the same position. Adopted a very bold strategy. She converted a simple past struggle into an ideological struggle. एक पास्ट स्ट्रगल होता है, एक आइडियोलॉजी स्ट्रगल होती है. तो उसने क्या करना था कि अपने पास्ट स्ट्रगल को लोगों को, द पीपल शुड नॉट थिंक दैट शी इज फाइटिंग फॉर द पावर ओनली. द पीपल शुड थिंक दैट शी इज फाइटिंग फॉर द कंट्री. When the country word comes, the people become emotional. क्या हम अपने देश के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, अपने आप के लिए नहीं लड़ रहे. So she launched a series of initiatives to give the government policy a left orientation. She got the Congress Working Committee to adopt a 10-point program, 10 सूत्रीय कार्यक्रम. Very famous part, 10 सूत्रीय कार्यक्रम थी, right? She has to face Working Committee to adopt a 10-point program in May 1967. तो उसने क्या, अब अगेन आई एम रिवाइजिंग फॉर यू. तो सबसे पहले कांग्रेस मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी को अपने आप को स्थापित करना था. शी हैज टू इंस्टॉल हरसेल्फ इनटू द कांग्रेस, दैट शी इज द लीडर, शी इज अ टावरिंग लीडर. Then what do she has to do? She was having nth of self confidence. तो उसको क्या देखना था कि कांग्रेस should depend on her, she should not depend on the Congress. तो उसके लिए challenges भी थे. It was not that free of challenges. उसके लिए challenge थे. The challenge कांग्रेस मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी के लिए. And that one challenge was कि उसको अपने आप को syndicate से अलग करना था. कि syndicate जो है, Indira Gandhi, Indira Gandhi don't care about the syndicate, right? Then उसने क्या किया, she took a help from the left party also, left orientation also. She got the Congress working committee to adopt 10-point program. So she gave a 10-point program to the Congress. 10-point program मतलब 10 सूत्रीय कार्यक्रम उसने कांग्रेस को दिया. In May 1967, this program included social control of banks. So, in ध्यान underline कीजिए, आपके पास book है. This is page number 92, third paragraph after the box and last second line. This program, 10-point program, included social control of the bank. सबसे पहले क्या control करना था banking system को, and we call it nationalization of the banks. Nationalization of the banks and nationalization of the general insurance, right? ये दो काम किए. Third one, sealing of urban property. अर्बन में लोगों के पास बहुत सारी प्रॉपर्टी थी, तो उसको सील कर दिया गया. सीलिंग ऑफ द अर्बन प्रॉपर्टी एंड इनकम. पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ फूड ग्रेन, जैसे आज आप कहते हो ना राशन कार्ड, तो बेसिकली राशन कार्ड में जो 1967, 65, 67 में शुरू किया गया था. एंड शी सेड शी वाज हैविंग 10-point program, and this was public distribution of food grains. पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, पीडीएस सिस्टम आप कहते हो. पीडीएस आपने पहले भी पढ़ा, 9th और 10th में you have gone through the PDS system, right? So public distribution system of food grains. Land reforms, आपने land reform bill pass पढ़ा होगा, you have gone through. Land reform bills was in basically it was very successful in West Bengal, land reform, and Western UP also. Land reform bill and provision of house sites to the rural poor. और बेघर लोगों को घर देना, जो बेसिकली जो रूरल गांव में रहते थे उनको. While the syndicate leaders formally approved this left-wing program, they had serious reservation about the same. तो उसने पहले तो उसने लेफ्ट विंग को उन्होंने सिंडिकेट ने हेल्प कर दिया, उसको सपोर्ट किया, लेकिन उनके अपने भी सीरियस रिजर्वेशंस थी. So this was 10-point program ने ये आपके आते थे land distribution और. Now ये सब जो चीजें थी ना, इट वाज फॉर द पुअर पीपल. अर्बन प्रॉपर्टी को सील करना, जनरल इंश्योरेंस को नेशनलाइज करना, बैंकिंग सिस्टम को नेशनलाइज करना, पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम को रीजनरेट करना, और लैंड रिफॉर्म बिल देना, लैंड रिफॉर्म बिल को इंट्रोड्यूस करना. एंड आई एम रिवाइजिंग इट फॉर यू. एंड द प्रोविजन फॉर द हाउसेस फॉर द पुअर पीपल इन रूरल एरियाज. तो इन सब चीजें जो थे 10-point प्रोग्राम्स में आती थी. इसे आप एलोबरेट कर सकते हो. देन प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन 1969, एंड शी gave a support, her support to वीवी गिरी प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन के अंदर. तो इससे पहले हम प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन के लिए जाएं, आइए थोड़ा सा वीवी गिरी के बारे में जानते हैं. इट इज ऑन योर स्क्रीन आल्सो. 1894 में इन्होंने जन्म लिया, 1980s में इनकी डेथ हुई. He was the president of India from 1969 to 1974. Congress worker and about leader from Andhra Pradesh, a labor leader from Andhra Pradesh, Indian High Commissioner to Ceylon, right, Sri Lanka, labor minister in Union Cabinet, governor of UP in Kerala, Mysore, Karnataka, and a vice president from 1967 to 69. 2 years ये vice president रहे. And acting president after the death of President Zakir Hussain के बाद ये president भी बने. Right, 67 से vice president बने 67, 69, और acting president after the Zakir Hussein's death. Resigned and contested presidential election as an independent candidate, received support from Indira Gandhi for his election as president. And he fought the election for presidential election independently, and he got the support of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, because many people know that he was the candidate chosen by Mrs. Indira Gandhi for the presidential election. Let's go for the presidential election 1969. So the fractional rivalry between Syndicate and Indira Gandhi came in open. Fractional rivalry between Syndicate और इंदिरा गांधी came in open. बिल्कुल सब जग जाहिर हो गई कि सिंडिकेट और इंदिरा गांधी में बनती नहीं है. Lot of controversies are there. Lot of rivalries between syndicate and Mr. Indira Gandhi. In 1969, following President Zakir Hussein's death, the post of president of India fell vacant that year. Despite Mrs. Indira Gandhi's reservation, the syndicate managed to nominate her long-time opponent and then Speaker of Lok Sabha, N. Sanjeeva Reddy. So basically, let me tell you one thing. After this man, N. Sanjeeva Reddy was also the president of, he was also elected president of India, but not the same time as VV Giri was there, the chosen candidate by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. As the official Congress candidate for the ensuing president election, Indira Gandhi retaliated by encouraging the then Vice President VV Giri to file his nomination as the independent candidate. तो उन्होंने वीवी गिरी को मनाया कि basically कि ये he should fight for the presidential election. She also announced several big and popular policy measures like nationalization of 14 leading private banks and the abolition of privy purse. I told you about the nationalization of banks. The बैंक को nationalize कर दिया, government ने 14 बैंकों को अपने कब्जे में ले लिया. That is nationalize of bank under the direct Reserve Bank of India, direct control of Reserve Bank of India. And pre-weepers. Pre-weepers क्या होता है कि suppose many people maybe don't know the pre-weepers क्या होता है. Pre-weepers होता है कि ना राजा महाराजाओं को एक मुश्त रकम दी जाती थी अपने खर्चों को चलाने के लिए. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया देती थी so that they should not revolt against government of India. क्योंकि there is one idiom कि इसके तो खर्चे राजाओं जैसे खर्चे हैं. मतलब they used to spend lot of money on their on their asho aram and all. Extravagant, extra income was not there because their all type of states they were merged into India, so they used to get the pension, a pension type from by we used to give the kings the privy purse. The purse कहते थे, पैसा दिया जाता था राजाओं महाराजाओं को या राजकुमारों को. Then privy purse or the special privilege, this was a special privilege given to the formal princes. Morarji Desai was the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister. On the both above issues, serious differences emerged between him and the Prime Minister, resulting in Desai leaving the government. So Morarji Desai जो थे, he was the Finance Minister. He has to leave the post. He left the finance minister's job, and he was having lots of reservation for privy purse. Also, he used to say that when a person has given the promise to the kings and princes, then we should abide by our promise. यदि हमने उनके से promise किया हुआ है कि हम तुम्हें पैसा देंगे तुम्हें खर्चे को चलाने के लिए, तो हमें देना चाहिए. और nationalize banking को nationalize करने में भी Morarji Desai was not willing, so he resigned from the finance minister post. Congress had seen differences of this kind in past also, right? Here Congress had seen differences of this kind in the past also, but this time both the parties wanted a showdown, which took place during the presidential election. The then Congress President S. Nijalingam issues a whip asking all the Congress MPs and MLAs to vote in favor of Sanjeeva Reddy. उसने एक whip जारी कर दिया किसने नीलंजप्पा ने एस नीलांजंगप्पा issued a whip issue कर दिया कि सभी कांग्रेस वर्कर्स जो हैं एन संजीवा रेड्डी के पक्ष में वोट डालेंगे. And Mrs. Indira Gandhi was not in the favor of, she was in the favor of VV Giri, the official candidate of the party. Supporters of Indira Gandhi requested a special meeting of AICC, All India Congress Committee. That is why this faction came to be known as requisitions, but this was refused. After silently supporting VV Giri, the Prime Minister openly called for a conscience vote, which meant that the MPs and MLAs from the Congress should be free to vote the way they want. The election ultimately resulted in the victory of VV Giri, the independent candidate, and the defeat of Sanjeeva Reddy, the official Congress candidate. अब प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन 1969 में अब ऐसे समझो इस बात को, जो दे वर टू मेन कैंडिडेट. One candidate was N. Sanjeeva Reddy, supported by Congress syndicate, and one person was independent, VV Giri, supported VV Giri independent but supported by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. अब इन दोनों कैंडिडेचर के अंदर कन्फ्रंटेशन होना था प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन के. One party, one Congress was supporting, and Sanjeeva Reddy, Mrs. Indira Gandhi's Congress was supporting VV Giri. Now he issued, and as Nilanjan Gappa issues a whip कि आप सब issues whip एक instruction जारी कर दिया कि every Congress person should vote in favor of Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. Now here Mrs. Indira Gandhi said that why there should be a whip. All Congress people are there. This is a democratic country. This is India is a democratic country. You should vote according to your consciousness, according to your conscience. आप अपने आत्मा की आवाज के अनुसार वोट डालो. There should be no whip. There should be no force on them. Right. So they accepted. Chairperson accepted, and what was the result? VV Giri defeated Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. VV Giri jeet gaye and with the favor of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, and he defeated Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. Ultimately resulted the victory of VV Giri, the independent candidate, and the defeat of Sanjeeva Reddy, the official Congress candidate. The defeat of official Congress candidate formalized the splits in the party. अब क्या हुआ? अब ये ना कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी को एक बहुत चुभी कि कांग्रेस की बात किसी ने मानी नहीं, तो कांग्रेस के अंदर एक दरार पड़ गई. स्प्लिट इन द पार्टी. कांग्रेस पार्टी दो हिस्सों में बट गई. The Congress president expelled the prime minister from the party. One by one, you see the sentences. Congress party expelled the prime minister. Congress party ने क्या किया? Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi को अपनी सदस्यता से निकाल दिया. Expelled कर देना, बाहर निकाल देना. From the party. She claimed that her group was real Congress. अब कांग्रेस पार्टी जब उन्होंने उसको किया था, शी क्लेम, और उन्होंने बट मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी ने क्लेम किया कि उसकी पार्टी जो है रियल कांग्रेस है. असली कांग्रेस जो है मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी की पार्टी है. बाय नवंबर 1969 द कांग्रेस ग्रुप लेड बाय syndicate came to be referred as a Congress organization, and the group by Indira Gandhi was referred as a requisitionist. These two parties were also described as Old Congress and New Congress. Old Congress जो थी syndicate की पार्टी थी, New Congress जो थी मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी की पार्टी. These two parties were also described as Old Congress and New Congress. Indira Gandhi projected the split as an ideological divide. Division on the principles, ideology. आपके idea और idea के ऊपर पार्टी का division होना, का संबंध खत्म होना। तो आइडियोलॉजिकल डिवीजन था, प्रिंसिपल्स के ऊपर डिवीजन था, डिवाइड बिटवीन सोशलिस्ट एंड कंजर्वेटिव। डिवीजन किसके ऊपर था? सोशलिस्ट लोगों के ऊपर, सोशलिस्ट जो थे, और जो कंजर्वेटिव थे, राइट। So Indira Gandhi projected the split as an advocate divided between social and conservative, between the pro-poor and pro-rich, pro-poor and pro-rich, and this, Garib or Amir, it continued from last nth of decades. कई हजार सालों से अब चला आ रहा है अमीर और गरीब. Same, she gave a slogan, गरीबी हटाओ. It was a popular slogan during her electoral speech and all also. So उसने कहा कि ये जो कांग्रेस है बेसिकली आइडियाज के ऊपर है. एक आइडिया जो वो कहती थी कि she was the savior of the poor people, right? So आइडियोलॉजी क्या थी? pro poor and pro rich. जो गरीबों को सपोर्ट करते थे, she said that I used to support the pro poor, I'm pro poor, गरीबों के साथ हूँ, and the Congress syndicate Congress is pro rich, जो अमीर के साथ, अमीरों के साथ है. Then one topic I told you earlier also, evolution of privy purse. In chapter 1 you have read about the integration of princely states. अब प्रीवी पर्स है क्या, मैं आपको डिटेल में बता देता हूँ. आपको पता सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल, इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ प्रिंसली स्टेट्स. The integration was presided by an assurance that after the dissolution of princely rule, the then ruler families would be allowed to retain certain private property and given a grant of heredity on the government allowance measured on the basis of extent, revenue, and then potential of the merging state. This grant was called privy purse. Privy purse. तो ये privy purse है क्या, ये आपका क्वेश्चन है. बेसिकली इंडियन गवर्नमेंट उनको एक ग्रांट देती थी अपने खर्चों को चलाने के लिए, तो उन्हें प्रीवी पर्स कहा जाता था. एट द टाइम ऑफ एजेशन, एजेशन का मतलब किसी के अंदर मिक्स अप हो जाना. There was a little criticism of these privileges since integration and consolidation was the primary aim. तो किसी ने ज्यादा इन पे ध्यान नहीं दिया प्रीवी पर्स के ऊपर, क्योंकि उनका सबसे पहला काम था कि इन राजकुमार और राजकुमारों को, राजाओं को देश में मिक्स कर लेना, उनमें मर्ज करना, उनके द बॉर्डर शुड बी मर्ज इनटू इंडियन बॉर्डर. सो इट वाज द फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी, इट वाज द प्रायोरिटी कि उनके राज्यों को अपने राज्य में मिक्स कर लेना, और उनको जो पैसा दिया जाता था इसके ऊपर लोगों ने ज्यादा गौर नहीं किया. सेकेंड, yet hereditary privileges were not consistent with the principles of equality and social economic justice laid down laid down in the Constitution of India. Nehru had expressed his dissatisfaction over the matter time and again. Following 1967 election, Indira Gandhi supported the demand that the government should abolish privy purse. So Mr. Nehru, he was not in favor of privy purse. So in 1967 election, Mr. Indira Gandhi told that privy purse will be, discontinued. And then the government should abolish privy purse. ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट को प्रीवी पर्स abolish कर देना चाहिए. But Morarji Desai told you earlier also, called the move morally wrong and amounting to breach the faith of the princes. तो ये मोरारजी देसाई ने कहा कि इट इज रॉन्ग नोशन कि हमने प्रॉमिस किया कि हम आपको पैसा देंगे, अब हम उसको प्रॉमिस को तोड़ रहे हैं. सो देयर वाज द खटपट बिटवीन मोरारजी देसाई एंड मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी. Last paragraph, the government tried to bring a constitutional amendment in 1970s. तो गवर्नमेंट ने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर बदलाव लाने की कोशिश की, अमेंडमेंट करने की कोशिश की. कब? 1970 के अंदर. बट इट वाज नॉट पास इन राज्यसभा. राज्यसभा में आपको पता है, वी हैव टू पास द amendment bill in Rajya Sabha as well as in Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha it passed because this was the Lok Sabha was basically from Mrs. Indira Gandhi, but Rajya Sabha withheld it. It then issued an ordinance, which was struck down by Supreme Court. Indira Gandhi made made into a major election issue 1971 and got a lot of public support. Following its massive victory 1971 election, the constitution was amended to remove the legal obstacle for abolition of privilege. So 1971 May, instead Indira Gandhi, she was a winner. Her party was a winner, and she was facing no difficulty to abolish the privy purse. So privy purse 1971 के अंदर इसको abolish कर दिया गया. Right. So this was the part, and tomorrow I will go through with the 1971 election and restoration of Congress. तो हम बात करेंगे 1971 इलेक्शन की, जिसमें कांग्रेस स्प्लिट हो गई थी. इंदिरा गांधी की गवर्नमेंट 1971 election, because 1971 election, fifth general election was in 1971 to 72 में ले आया गया था इसको, due to the war between India and Pakistan, and Bangladesh was born, new a country was came up into the map of the world and supported by our country. So the split in Congress reduced Indira Gandhi government to a minority, yet her government continued in the office with the issue-based support of a few parties, including Communist Party, support करते रहे उसको, DMK ने उसको support किया, and government made a conscious attempt to protect its socialist credential. There was also a phase when Indira Gandhi vigorously campaigned for the implementing the existing land reform laws and undertook a further land ceiling legislation in order to set her independent order of political parties, strengthening, and she was a winner in a general election also. Tomorrow I will go through 19th election again and the resignation of the Congress. Take care. You should go through about, I told you today about the Congress syndicate. Then I told you about presidential election 1969, what the challenges faced by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. It could be a question for you in the final examination, the subjective type question. What Indira Gandhi faced, what type of challenges did Mrs. Indira Gandhi face in her term? And that was 1967 election. And this is what the answer was, page number 92, second paragraph, you could get the answer. Revise thoroughly, do the job, do read the topic again. Tomorrow I will go through again over here the same topic, that is challenges to and solution of the world Congress system. Take care. Till then, have a nice time. Thank you.